I think one direction to move beyond duets is to invest more into independence, and stillness is part of that. And the other direction that I want to work on in my summer intensive in Berlin is more than two people working in touch with each other. And I think for that we need a body that is that has good access to liquidity and that is able to listen to the influence of gravity and allow it to take over sometimes. These qualities are not so easy to get into the body, so it needs quite a lot of repetition and time. That's why I came up with this vision that participants of the workshop can include like a 15-minute sequence that I created for their daily practice in order to prepare for the workshop. And the sequence that I made is mainly focusing on the legs, especially on the hip joints, because I think that's where the core holding is and where we make the biggest changes to listen better to gravity. Super happy if you gave it a go. So let's start just by bouncing the legs a bit on the floor, just to soften, loosen the muscles left and right, both together. And then a bit of warming the hip joints up, loosening them, hands very close to the hip joints, here to the groins, and the other hand, if you can, under the trochanter. The foot is very happy, other side. The movement doesn't come from the leg, it comes from the work of the hands, curious hands here. And then we can play, also having the legs rather passive. And I lift the leg with my hand, but I move it from the hand, from my core, from my center, and gravity helps to move it back. I'm leaning forward a little bit, the other leg. So it's a bit rotation in my body, that the lifting of the leg is easier, but the leg wants to be rather passive. Okay, then similar, just trying that the legs can bend without getting anything tightening here. That they feel like pulled like by rubber bands towards my center here. We do it similarly on the floor. I'm moving my leg again from my hand, and the gravity move the leg back. So, yeah. Other leg. And I want to have good amount of sliding of the leg on the floor. So there's a bit of activity in my center, but like I try to keep my leg as soft, passive as possible. Yeah. And then I can also do this without my hand. So it's more like my center area is active and makes my leg slide and almost swing. Other side. I can do this also with the pelvis off the floor here, so that my center is more active and my leg is still rather passive and heavy and soft, and I can do it with the leg in the air. That might be a bit difficult for high-toned people. But that's kind of the aim eventually, to have multiple tones in the body, kind of responsive leg, while the center is working quite a bit. Try to keep my belly muscles as soft as possible. Yeah. And then moment of resting. Yeah, heels more or less in front of the sit bones. You can place your hands close to your hip joints, sensing the weight of the legs falling through the roundness of the hip joints into your pelvis, through the sacrum to the floor. How much can you release without the legs falling to the outside? Lower back lengthening, fairly soft. And then I imagine to lift my right foot off the floor. Just imagining maybe there's the pre-toning of the body I can notice. I try it on the left, and my right foot gets a tiny bit more weight. So now I go further. I want to lift my right foot. So this is quite a process, you can't see much. My lower back is engaging the front of my spine, the psoas is engaging the belly. I want to have soft. Can check with my hands that everything is soft here. When slowly my leg leaves the floor, first the heel, at the end the toes. I can kind of move it in the air, breathing. How soft can this be? Yeah, and this is quite a detailed research. Where do I feel muscles start engaging? Can I let them go? That it's more or less only the psoas. When I fold more deeply, there's more softening everywhere. And on the way back, I check also which muscles can stay soft. Lengthening of the lower back while engaging, belly stays soft. The ball of the foot touches the floor first, then the heel, and then I soften. Sensing the weight. Trying the other leg, I go a bit quicker with this one. Imagining to lift the foot. I feel more weight on my sacrum, I feel more weight on my right foot. The left one becomes free. Breathing, exhaling, checking what can stay soft here, what engages. More softness. And then it's a moment when the knee comes closer, where also the lower back can let go. And then I bring it back. The ball of the foot finds the floor first. Can my neck stay actually soft? Mouth. Breathing, then the heel finds the floor. And everything can soften into this. Actually, we can do this movement a few times, like more quickly, lifting, dropping, and then I let it slide. Lifting, dropping, slide. You can do this more often, like that. We do one more time. With socks it's a bit easier if you have sweaty legs. One thing that I like is a sense of can I actually let go here, is I lift my both legs, maybe I bring them up to here, let the heels fall, like feet fall to the floor, and let them slide. And can my neck stay long. So when I hold in my belly, then this would tighten here, I would start arching. I don't want this. The more I fold, the less tone I have around my legs, the more my neck and belly can stay soft. Yeah. That's a nice test for me. Then again, balancing the legs, dropping. Then we do a leg swing, we let them fall to my right, both knees, letting gravity take over. And then I guide my top leg falling, 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 falling. And now I take over. Falling slowly. Then I take over control. Gravity, yay, and now I take it a few times. Beginning is dropping, sinking, gravity kicks in, and then I take over. Yeah. One I like even better is when my legs are open, and I can have a bit of a seesaw pattern. One folds and pulls the other one up, folding, balancing, falling, yay. Balancing, falling, yay. And then the other leg can swing. Leave it turned out, pull the other one up, falling, yay. Oh, falling, yay. Turning out, dragging this up. Yay. Yeah. Then last thing, like to practice these recoil, the foot in the air, having the looseness in the knee and in the hip joint. And here as well. Yeah. And then we let it go. I place my palms, hands on top of my hip joints. Just relax in my neck, in my face, my lower back, in my belly. Feeling the possible aliveness and freedom in my hip joints. Thank you.